So today I really quickly just want to go over Know Your Worth. There's a lot of different genres that this can fall into, but when I say Know Your Worth, I'm talking about professionally, and of course in love, because everything about me is love. But definitely know your work in your profession. Now, a lot of us have worked hard for many years. I've been working for 20 years, since I was 15, and I've acquired a lot of information and a skill set. And I've worked in very different fields, from starting companies internationally to managing companies, in foreign countries where I don't even speak the language, to I work for a jewelry manufacturing company, so working from the prototype phase to the actual production to the shipping to customers to chargebacks and making sure that the customers are happy, natural disasters happening in other countries, and then having to explain to the customer that it's not going to be there for the photo shoot and blah, 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 blah. With an array of other businesses. I think I've had like 28 jobs. I know. You know why? Because if I don't like it, I walk out. I worked at Victoria's Secrets for one day, and I was like, no, thank you. I worked at the Disney store for 2 weeks, the Gap for 3 months, US Airways for like 2 years. It's just a wide array of different things. So I did payroll there. So I've gotten experience in a lot of different things. And it's funny because my major was entrepreneurial management. So I've learned all the different aspects of businesses, operations management, shipping and receiving, production, coming up with business ideas that are virtual. So there's like no actual product, it's just a service. It's amazing. And at some point, I decided, my last job was at Uber, the fastest startup in America. And I was there for 10 months. And after leaving there, I just decided I don't ever want to work for anybody again. I want to work for myself. And I feel that I've learned enough to be able to do that. Now, the first couple of months were very rocky, and I was crying, and I had no money, and I hadn't paid my bills for 6 months, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I still haven't paid some of my bills. I'm not going to sit here and talk. I just want you to understand what the process is. But now I'm starting to get to a point where I'm producing a profit from the ideas and coming up with other business ideas and starting businesses that are actually lucrative. And that first, what are we, May? And I left Uber in October. So it is that 2 plus 5, 7, 8 months have been a whirlwind. Like, I was almost homeless in January. And I was starving. I hadn't eaten for a couple of days. I'm serious. Like, this is like the process. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just had blind faith. And then little by little, all the chips started falling together. And then I started trusting my intuition, my gut. And, like if I went this way, my gut would be like, no, go that way. And I'm like, no, but I want to go this way. And then I realized what I want doesn't get me anything. I have to start following my intuition, a little voice in my head that I trust. Like there's two voices in everybody's head. You have to figure out which is the one you listen to. So I figured that little voice in my head is God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, telling me, no, go this way, trust me. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I would go that way. Like today, I was going business to business, and I was on Wyckoff and Myrtle. And then I wanted to go down the side street to get back to Myrtle because I wanted to take the train. But then I was like, some voice in my head said, no, go back to Wyckoff and go down. And I'm like, but I want to go this way. So I was like, but you know what? I'm going to give myself to the Lord and my destiny, my future, whatever it's meant to be. Like, things are happening in signs and all this other stuff. So like, okay, fine. I went down Wyckoff. I bumped into some people that were really funny. Some guy came back out from a business that I saw, and he was just talking to me. And then I saw this store that wasn't open before. And I walked in, and I'm like, hey, I'm here on behalf of, blah, blah, blah. And, we're doing this, and da-da-da. And he's like, hey, here, do you want a free cup of coffee? Mind you, I was hungry. I had no cash on me. I was, like, really hot. I knew I was getting a sunburn, but I was like, I'm just going to rough it out and finish the day because I really want to make this money, right? So he's like really nice to me, and he's like, yeah, you should come back here with your friends. Here's a cup of coffee. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. That's so sweet. And I was like, he's like, no, it's on the house. And I'm like, oh, thank God, because I didn't have any money in my pocket. And I was like, I was like, what? And then he's like, I was like, yeah, I'm trying not to stop because I'm a juggernaut, and once I keep going, I have to keep going, because if I stop, I just get really like calm and comfortable and lazy, and I don't want to do anything anymore. And he was like, I was just thinking like I probably should stop and eat something, and I was like, but thank you, this really helps. Like, you have no idea. And he was like, no, here's a chocolate croissant. And I'm like, no, it's okay. And he's just like, no, it's from yesterday. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it, whatever. And I ended up making friends with this guy, and he was such a nice guy. And I thanked God at that moment. I'm like, thank you, I'm going to start trusting that little voice in my head more often, um, because I was really grateful for that. I don't know if you guys get it, but like just by following my intuition and going with the flow, and I guess living in the present moment, good things have been happening to me, and I believe that they're going to continue to happen as long as I keep doing what I feel in my heart, versus what society is telling me to do. Because I've conformed to society my whole entire life, and I was really good at it, but then society started turning its back on me, and I just said sorry. But I did, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be in control now, and I'm gonna do everything I can to follow my dreams, but to help other people follow their dreams and achieve their dreams. Because I feel that if you help people along the way, you will be rewarded even more. You will constantly and continuously be rewarded when you help people along your path. So when I say know your worth, I'm saying when you feel that you have enough professional experience to do your own thing, realize that when you first go out, even if you have investors or whatever, it's always rough the first couple of months. I went out on my own, and I've done everything on my own ever since. And it was really hard, but I think I'm in a good place now, and I'm really excited about what this summer is gonna hold for me and the rest of the year, and where my mind is racing with all these ideas. And I wish that for all of you, that you can follow your dreams in your heart and know what you're worth. One of my friends just went through that experience, which is what motivated me to make this video, where he is a amazing songwriter, and he kind of gave away a song for a little bit of money, and then after making it, he's like, oh my god, that was amazing, that's like a hit, so now he knows that the next time he can charge a lot more. And sometimes you have to give a service away or your work very cheaply at first, because people don't know you haven't proven anything to anybody. You know what you're worth, but they don't. So sometimes you do have to give out a sample or a little bit so that they can see what you have on the table, and then you can start charging more, and then they'll give you referrals, and that's how your businesses get started. You can't just go out there and be like, no, this is my rate and blah, 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 because people don't know you. They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know if you're going to come through for them. But once they see that you can, then you can stand up on 2 feet and be like, yeah, no, we're going to have to renegotiate the next time we do business again. And they'll pay for it because they know what you're worth. Does that make sense? As for relationships, this year I made a vow to love like I've never been hurt. But I didn't do that. I did a little bit, but then I stopped because I've been hurt, and then I'm like, oh, and I withdrew. And I just realized I know what I'm worth, and I know what I deserve, and that's why I'm still single. And some people will be like, oh, you're going to be single and forever. Well, you know what? If I'm single and forever, I don't care. I'll adopt a bunch of kids because I'll have all that money, and I'll have the love of them, and I'll be good, because I know that it's better to be alone than in a really bad relationship. Trust me. I know that. You'll see my Lifetime Movie Network movie or book about some of the relationships I've been in. And they're not like abusive or anything. Thank God, I'm lucky about that. But they were just like a little like disturbing. So I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I know what I'm worth. I'm just waiting for the right guy to look at me and be like, I have never met anybody like you in my whole life, and I know I probably won't. So I'm not stupid enough to let you go. I'm going to hold on, and I'm going to treat you the way you deserve, and I'm going to love you the way you need to be loved, because I can tell that you're such a people pleaser and you're such a good person, and you're loving all these people, but nobody's loving you. So I'm going to love you. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how everybody should feel. That if you're a good person, you need to wait for another good person to come into your life and love you properly. Don't settle for, I don't want to curse, but don't settle for a half-assed relationship. Sorry. Because something is better than nothing. Wait for what you're worth. And I know it's hard to say, because when you're single, you're lonely, you cry, you want this and you want that. But you know what? Know your worth. I know what I'm worth, and I know I'm amazing, and I know whoever falls in love with me, whoever I fall in love with that falls in love with me, where it's reciprocated, is the luckiest man on the whole entire planet, in my opinion, because it's just my opinion. But I think together, if I find the right guy, we're going to be able to move mountains and create amazing things and do humanitarian things and just inspire the world. And that's what I want to do. And I know you're probably looking at me like, this chick is crazy, but you know what? All amazing people are. So I hope some of you people will figure out what your worth is, and just hold true to your heart and your spirit, because remember, the song in your heart is what was put in there for you. Nobody else needs to hear it. Nobody else needs to understand it. It's your song. It's your vision. It's your purpose. It's your destiny. So just, follow through, be good, and, may the universe help you reach all of your goals, and